Hello, Internet! Welcome to my Final Fantasy Tactics walkthrough. Now, this game I am actually going to be playing on the... actually, I have to play it on my PS3. My regular PlayStation as well as my PS2 are dead. So I'm playing on a PS3 now. I want to actually point one really cool thing out. On the PlayStation 4, or it's not PlayStation 4, the PlayStation Store, there is a kind of a version of this game. I would say it's an upgraded version called Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lions. I actually do have that on my Vita, but it's ironically the only game I have on my Vita and the only reason I even bought it. I loved it. It's a great game. Definitely, like I would say, I would argue that it's an upgrade on the basic Final Fantasy Tactics game. Now, if you don't want to pay for a Vita, which I completely understand, you can just pick up the PlayStation regular PS Tactics. I believe this game is actually on the PlayStation Store as well. So, I'm guessing it's fairly cheap on there. So, if you have access to that, you're playing on a PS3 or and whatnot, I would say that's probably a pretty good way to go. You can avoid yourself some potential issues with getting a bad disc or yeah, I guess that would be my worry. I suppose you probably save some money on shipping costs too if you're not going to go run out to a store and get this. But anyways, all right. So let's get to the game here. I would say that Final Fantasy Tactics has not only a really good, as usual, as a lot of the Final Fantasy games go, a really good battle system, as well as a really good storyline though as well. I would say that it took me at least a playthrough or two of going through the game to really fully understand, I guess, the story. Just because typically my first playthrough, I will spend a lot of time on the battle system, and I mean that's pretty typical for my RPGs and how I play my games. But then the second time I'll focus a little more. I'll slow down a bit more, focus more on the story, and try to get more out of the game. So this game, as the opening I guess dialogue here is scrolling through, basically they're telling that there was a hero named Delita, and he fought in the, I think this is considered the Lion War. I'm gonna have to check this again here, but they also mention of another character who was the actual hero, I would say, and it's kind of interesting. I think it really goes. It goes to the point almost of I think it's a fairly common saying of who the victor writes history, basically. I'm probably butchering whatever saying that actually comes from, so I apologize for that. But that's the idea, that history might not be exactly what you read, and that is definitely true with this game. So I love this. I love the premise already, where it's kind of this, well, we're going to find out what really happened. So, again, I think this game ends up being amazing. The graphics obviously are dated. I think this came out in 98 or something like that. So, don't expect a whole lot when it comes to graphics. But that being said, though, I think the opening scene here is really cool. They did a really good job. So I would say for this playthrough, I would say that I don't know. This is my first tactics game that I've done for a walkthrough, and so we'll see how this all really turns out. It's going to be, I'm guessing, a bit different at least than the normal games that I go through. Obviously with just the way these games are set up. You do a ton of battling and then a ton of story. And then a ton of battling, ton of story. And it keeps swapping on and off like that. Whereas with your typical RPG, I feel like there's a little more of a mix, and it's not so much, oh, let's do a half an hour's worth of battling and then do 5 minutes worth of story and then rinse and repeat. So again, it'll be a little bit different, but I think it'll work out pretty well. I suppose what I'll end up doing is speaking a bit about the storyline, even into the battles. And to be honest, the battles will potentially be a little bit interesting because I'm going to do a bit of leveling right at the beginning of the game. And so that's going to change things a bit. And I'll do a whole, probably a couple, like almost, I would say, supplemental guides to the game. Just because I don't want to, as I'm running around in the actual, I would say, story battles. I don't know that I want to bring up a whole lot of information on things that I won't be actually showing you. So, again, I guess I would say stay tuned to any supplemental guides that'll go along with it. I'll probably toss them towards the beginning of the walkthrough. And because otherwise, I think that you'll probably see me go from one battle where my characters are extremely weak to the next battle where I'm running around and everybody's crazy powerful and stuff. So that may shed some light on that. But anyways, all right. So the opening scene here is a bunch of knights and characters riding to what I assume is this place, the Orban Monastery. So this game has got a lot of, I would say there's a lot of politics involved as well as religion, and a kind of almost how those interact, almost, I would say. So as the game unfolds, we'll see more of that. But here is Princess Ovilia, and she is praying, obviously, at the monastery here. And this priest is, I think, Simon. We'll see here in a second. But and then you've got Agrius, her, I would say, protector. And then the Black Knight here and the two men accompanying him are mercenaries. And I believe their job here is to escort the princess somewhere. Yes, okay, so mercenaries hired by the Hokutin. And like I said, so I think they're, or it sounds like anyways, that they're hired by the Hokutin to escort the princess somewhere. So, alright, and apparently the enemy is here, and this is Goltana's men. So there's another faction already that we've got involved. I'm a mercenary, just like you. All right, so that is the main character, Ramza. I left his name at the default. Normally, I would call him like Mike or Michael or something, after myself. But I thought that or generally for these playthroughs, I just leave the default names because it's a little bit easier, I think, to I guess tell or mention what's going on. All right, so Prince Goltana apparently hired these men, and they have are wearing the Black Lion symbol. So that's how Agrius has identified these as Goltana's men. All right, so the Dark Knight here. This guy's name is Garfgarian. He is obviously a mercenary. And if it wasn't already obvious, he's got kind of a one-track mind. He's all about making money, which, that's what mercenaries do. So, being that they're under contract by the Hokutin, I suspect anyway that they would pay him for defeating Goltana's men. And so the Hokutin and Goltana's men are obviously not on friendly terms. Garfgarian, unfortunately, he's got actually one of the coolest jobs, I would say, in the game, the Dark Knight, and so the abilities of the Dark Knight allow you to restore your health power, and basically steal health power from your enemy and give it to yourself. Unfortunately, in this version of Final Fantasy Tactics, he is the only one. I shouldn't say that. He's not the only one that has that ability. He is one of very few people that can actually use that ability. Now, in Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lions, the Vita version of the game, your characters can actually become Dark Knights. And that job is so cool. It's, like I said, so, I mean, for one thing, you take health from the enemy and give it to yourself. So, extremely, extremely powerful job. And Garfgarian, unfortunately, won't be usable for very much of the game. But that's okay. He's a little OP, to be honest. Anyways, so this battle, obviously being the first one, this is really more of, I would almost say, a tutorial battle. You can see there the archer that was defeated has like stars over his head. And basically that means that when enough turns have passed, I should say, in other battles, when enough turns pass, normally those characters will disappear from the battlefield, and they'll either leave behind an item or a crystal. But for the tutorial battle, that's not the case. These the enemies will not disappear from the field; they will just stay dead, essentially. So there isn't a whole lot we can do about that. But that's okay. Again, being that it's really just a tutorial, there isn't really a whole lot that we can do. Now, Ramza here's got a couple of interesting abilities. He's got Accumulate, and then I think, did he have Wish? Yeah, this is Wish. As well as, I think, Yell. Now, I would say that, and I'll talk a bit more about it in following videos, but Yell, I would say, is one of the most overpowered abilities in the game. That might sound funny, but increasing a character's speed has a massive strategic advantage in this game. Basically, it allows your characters to take turns more often, and in a game like this, that's just crazy. It ends up being super OP, like I said, and the fact that he can not only yell to increase his own speed, but he can target other characters with it as well. So again, I would say that that's one of the most overpowered abilities in the game. Yeah, I guess I'm going to leave it at that. There isn't a whole lot else to say. I love it. It's one of my favorite abilities. So anyways, so if you hadn't noticed already, most of these characters are taking turns on their own. And I believe the only character that you actually get to control is Ramza himself, which is, fine. Like I said, it's mostly a tutorial battle anyway. But, and I don't even know actually if you can lose this one or not. I guess it's a possibility. I don't know that I've ever... I think you'd almost have to go out of your way to try to lose. But, yeah, I would say... fairly easy. If one of the characters gets extremely low, you can run up to them and use Wish, and that will restore their health. Now, Wish is a very unique command. There's only a couple of characters in the game that can actually use it. Ramza, obviously, being one of them. We'll get another character here in a little bit that can use it, but he won't be around forever. But Wish, what that does is actually it'll restore a certain amount of health. And you can actually see before you finalize your commands, you can see percentages and whatnot. So like when that knight attacked Rad there, you could see that he had a 100% chance to deal 42 HP. Garfgarian here has a 100% chance to deal 49 HP. So like Wish, going back to Wish, what Wish will do will tell you exactly how much HP you can restore to a character. But then on top of that, what Wish is actually going to do is it'll restore that health, but half of that health will be taken from Ramza himself. So you have to be careful when you're using that. I don't know if I'm fairly sure that you can kill yourself by using it, but I guess it's been a while since I've done that. I should really try that again just to make sure. All right, so here we have Delita, which again, the character that was actually mentioned at the very beginning of the game. He's supposed to be the hero, or allegedly the hero. I love that quote there too. Don't blame us, blame yourself or God. Basically for allowing the princess to be captured. All right, so here Ramza obviously recognizes Delita, and he says, "Why are you in?" Kind of more talking to himself. Why are you in Goltana's or working for Goltana? So basically, that was, I don't know if I would say it was a flash forward, but it's an interesting way of telling a story. So great to be honest, great opening scene as far as, or from a storytelling point of view. It kind of gives you this sense of, okay, well, so this character knows this other one, and obviously he has questions as to what's happening. So so for the next bit of time, we will be, I guess, working on how to answer that question. But anyways, all right. So this is, I think this is Garland Magic City, or that's the name of this area that we're in. This is the academy, I believe, for, I think this is the Hokuton. Don't quote me on that, though. I don't actually remember. So, but anyways, here. So, many soldiers who returned from the war had no jobs, little money. Oh, I missed all of that stuff. Anyways, what it's saying here is basically times are tough. A war was fought. The war is allegedly over, or supposed to be over, and basically people just didn't have jobs. So some of them resorted to thievery and robbery. So many heroes and wizards came out of there, and Garland was no exception either. So, like I said, so this is Garland Magic City, and this is the beginning of Chapter 1, titled The Meager. And this is kind of where it all starts. So we've got, where are we at here? The military academy is the area that we're at here. So basically, you can see Ramza's here. Delita is actually to the left of him, and then the rest of these are just kind of like nameless cadets. All right, so Ramza asking what's going on, and Delita says Prince Larg's coming to town. Why is that? Not only Larg, but Marquis of Elmador, and that's news. It's not an official visit, is it? Nope. There are. You can suffering. And okay, yeah, okay. So what's going on here is we've got some big names, I suppose, coming to town, and it sounds like the Hokuton are stretched, or the forces are stretched a bit thin. So they are going to ask the cadets to help out, essentially. So we've got some, it sounds like some traitors to eliminate. Your duty is to support the flank. Specifically, you'll go to Igros and help guard it. Okay. So these are our mission orders. And it sounds like, yes, we're about to be attacked by thieves. So I'm going to cut the commentary here, and our next video will pick up with the attack on Garland City. So hope this guide was helpful, and hope you join me for more videos. All right, thanks for watching.